Thanks for joining us here on KGW Plus. I'm Stephanie Domerat. Chris McGinnis will have your forecast in just a moment, but first let's get you caught up on this afternoon's top stories. We're continuing to track a helicopter crash that happened in Lincoln County. The sheriff's office there says this crash happened near Moonshine Park on the east side of the county. It's about 20 minutes northeast of Siletz. So far, we don't have any information about injuries or deaths from this crash. Officials say the crash is contained and there doesn't appear to be any danger to the public. They are asking people to avoid that area while they investigate. Federal prosecutors have indicted 20 people, including 15 former college basketball players, in connection with a basketball game fixing scandal. According to the indictments, those involved rigged college games in the United States and professional basketball games in China. This started in 2022. The charges include bribery in sports, wire fraud, and aiding and abetting. One of the people indicted is Jalen Terry, who played one season of college basketball as a guard for the Oregon Ducks back in 2021. His time in Oregon happened before the prosecutors say the scheme reached college basketball, which they allege occurred between 2023 and 25. After multiple meetings and 13 rounds of voting, Portland City Council has selected Councilor Jamie Dunphy as its new president. Dunphy was a last-minute addition to the candidate pool after the 12-member council was split during votings for other candidates. He reluctantly accepted the nomination and eventually won with 9 votes. And now let's get to Chris McGinnis for a look at your weather. It is a nice sunny day out there.
It's gorgeous. A lot of us now getting a break in the gloom and the fog that we had yesterday. We'll take you to the coast right now. The live look from our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City. Cascade Head there off in the distance. Folks out walking the beach, and there's not a cloud in the sky there. A little bit of an east breeze. Really, really nice day right now in Lincoln City. 51 there. We'll take you to Vancouver. We had some clouds earlier this morning. Those have completely fizzled away here. We've got blue sky now over downtown Vancouver. 52 degrees at Pearson Airfield. I've got our Wells Fargo sky camera zoomed in on the tippy top of the Fremont Bridge. The flags are starting to snap in the breeze a little bit as that breeze begins to increase here across the northern Willamette Valley. The airport reporting a calm breeze, but out towards Troutdale, the wind's pretty gusty. Corbett experiencing some gusty winds, and a lot of us that are in those east wind prone locations when we get a weather setup like this, get ready. It's going to be a breezy 48 hours or so. Meanwhile, east side of the gorge, we're socked in under the low clouds right now in the Dalles, and you can see that low cloud deck here out across the Columbia Basin. Clouds down towards our state capital in the southern Willamette Valley. Those are beginning to erode as well. Right now it's 53 in Beaverton, 52 Boring, and the big picture across the state. Cooler, obviously, with the cloud cover out across the basin right now. Okay, this afternoon, sunny, like wall-to-wall sun here in the valley, with temperatures in the mid-50s as we say goodbye to Thursday and welcome Friday with more of the same in the forecast. I've got that for you coming up after the break.
All right, Chris, we'll see you then. Thank you. Oregon's Attorney General is suing several major drug companies for $900 million, claiming they inflated the price of insulin and created hardship for countless patients. The lawsuit claims drug companies have been exploiting patients for at least 15 years, driving up prices even as the cost to make them has gone down. Our Catherine Cook has more.
What am I going to do? A lot of anxiety.
Michael DeRozier is worried about his health. He has type 1 diabetes and takes a special concentrated form of insulin. But since late December, pharmacies haven't been able to fill his prescriptions.
The comment was they could not purchase it until the price dropped. I've never dealt with the pharmacy can't even get the medication I need because whoever they get it from won't buy it.
State regulators say a big part of the issue, pharmacy benefit managers, or PPMs, known by many as the middlemen in the prescription drug supply chain. Now 3 PBMs and the 3 remaining insulin manufacturers in the country are facing a $900 million lawsuit from the Oregon Attorney General. The suit alleges the companies conspire to artificially inflate the price of insulin and other diabetes medications, creating more profit for both sides. This is about more than insulin prices, said Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield. It's about the crushing cost pressures families are facing and the very real harm that comes when corporations exploit people who have no choice but to pay.
For me, it's not an issue of how much it costs. I need this. And my insurance is willing to pay for it. You just can't get it. You're being told no.
For now, Michael is getting by with less concentrated insulin his pharmacy does stock, but says it's taking a toll on his body.
My blood sugars are currently not well managed. It's changed my whole diet, so I can't actually make my insulin last. It needs to be dealt with.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
After more than 2 decades in the Rose City, Urban Fondue and Bartini have announced they will close their doors. The side-by-side spots called what they call a, quote, declining neighborhood environment, citing city taxes and lease issues with their landlord. The restaurant first opened in Northwest Portland in 2003, specializing in fondue and martinis. Their final night will be Sunday, February 22nd. As consumers get ready to file their taxes this year, there are some major changes you need to know about before you do. But many of them are positive. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson has the ones that will impact business owners the most.
Well, local tax prep professionals say there are 3 large changes that business owners need to be aware of. This as tax season gets underway on January 26th, so just over a week and a half away. Now, the first is called Section 179. That allows businesses to depreciate the full cost of certain equipment in the same year it's purchased. This year, the rules have been loosened, meaning owners buying things like machinery, tools, and technology could see a larger tax break up front. The second involves research and development or R&D rules expenses. Small businesses that do research were previously required to spread those deductions out over several years. Now they may be able to amend past returns and recover some of that money. And the third is a push to bring American manufacturing back to the U.S. Qualifying businesses may be able to use depreciation on certain buildings. Portland-based tax firm Foster & Associates tell me that while these breaks can be significant, they come with some big picture trade-offs.
When the IRS collects less tax money, there is more inflation. We have a fiat currency, and so that means that the majority of when the Treasury pays money out, inflation goes up, and when the Treasury takes money back in, inflation goes down. Then they're going to have to reimagine certain items for, say, government spending or the like to counteract the inflation because the Treasury is going to take less money out of circulation.
Now, with a lot of tax changes happening this year, local tax experts tell me consumers could see more random IRS audits and letters over the next year or two. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you've done anything wrong. They say the IRS just wants to check that filers are understanding the rules and following them correctly. Back to you.
The Supreme Court has delayed a ruling on a key case involving the legality of President Donald Trump's tariffs. The court is reviewing whether the president can use emergency powers to set tariff policy meant to generate revenue to help pay for tax cuts that were passed last July. Oregon's chief economist says a ruling against the tariffs could actually create unexpected financial problems. I had the chance to sit down with him for the latest episode on Straight Talk.
If tariffs are overruled by the Supreme Court, suddenly there is a much bigger price tag on those tax cuts, which means the U.S. Treasury has to issue more debt. That could put pressure on interest rates, and that impacts everything from your credit card to your mortgage, your auto loan, the cost of businesses borrowing, and that could be problematic for the economy.
He says Oregon and the U.S. have not seen the economic downturn many economists predicted from President Trump's tariffs last year, and it's unlikely the state is headed to a recession. You can watch the full conversation tomorrow night at 7 o'clock on KGW or streaming anytime on KGW+. And coming up in this half hour, the Trump administration is ramping up attacks on Somali communities across the U.S.
So it's no longer just a threat. Now it's an actual ongoing situation or tragedy, if you will.
We hear from the Somali community here in Portland, who says the administration's rhetoric has wide-ranging impacts.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Welcome back. The Trump administration says it plans to end what's called temporary protected status for Somalis and order them to leave the country in just over 2 months. Alma McCarty talked with some Somali Americans in the Portland metro area about how their community is being impacted.
President Trump's words disparaging the Somali community in December, then the arrest and detention of dozens of refugees in Minneapolis a month later.
So it's no longer just a threat. Now it's an actual ongoing situation or tragedy, if you will.
And the impact, Ismail Warsami tells us, is widespread, especially online.
People being told, go back to your country, you're not legal in this country, you're not welcome, the day of reckoning is coming.
Zamzam Abdallah explains Oregon's Somali community continues to face difficulties between the Fed's rhetoric and actions and rampant misinformation, tied in part to allegations of fraud in Minnesota.
This administration is trying to tear us apart. They're sending a lot of families back home, and a lot of moms are afraid to go to school, pick up their kids. We have to carry our passport everywhere that we go.
And on Tuesday, another targeted action as the Department of Homeland Security announced the termination of Somalia for temporary protected status, with officials stating the country doesn't meet the conditions for designation. According to census data, there are nearly 100,000 Somali immigrants in the U.S., and more than 80% are naturalized U.S. citizens.
Everything in immigration is being weaponized by this administration. So when they say the temporary protected status is ending, it is obviously tragic for people that are under that, but the numbers are around 1,000, which is extremely small.
Both Warsami and Abdallah say this community will overcome these challenging times, standing in solidarity.
Telling the president, stop doing this, we human, we this, we that, is not going to change anything. What we're doing is, if the president wants to fight with the power, we are fighting with our rights, and we're not stopping, and we're helping our community.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Meanwhile, Oregon lawmakers are pushing back on a new move by President Trump to withhold federal funding from states that don't assist with federal immigration efforts. One proposed bill called the Recourse Act would allow Oregon to withhold payments to the federal government if it unlawfully withholds funds from the state. This comes after President Trump announced that starting on February 1st, federal funding to states with sanctuary cities would stop.
The federal government is going to disobey the law and we can keep even millions of more dollars in Oregon. I think that is something that can make our community safer and more secure financially.
I think it's probably a bad idea. I mean, we rely on the federal government probably more than they rely on us. And at that point, again, you're flirting with a civil war. And I think Oregon seceding, even just financially from the union, is a terrible idea.
Well, the bill will be introduced during the short session, which starts February 2nd. All right, time to check in with Chris with a look at your weather. A lot of sunshine out there today.
Yeah, it sure is sunny. 51 degrees last check in downtown, 49 at the airport with wall-to-wall sun now in the northern Willamette Valley and across southern Clark County as well. Temperatures for the rest of the afternoon, look at that, inching in the mid-50s by 3 o'clock. Your full forecast coming up after the break.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. impact alert days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
All right, thanks for joining us here on KGW Plus. Almost a Friday, and it's pretty sunny.
For a 3-day weekend, no less. Yeah, nice. MLK holiday on Monday. Lots of folks with big plans. And if you are a fan of sunny weather in the middle of winter when it typically rains, you're in luck, because that's what we've got. Yeah, sunny today, increasing east breeze. We're beginning to feel that across the region. The east breeze will probably ratchet up a little bit more tomorrow as well. Not everybody feels it, but in the locations that are prone to the east wind, that is the weather pattern that we're in. And looking ahead, yes, a dry weekend and no rain. Get this, so we haven't had measurable rain in 4 days, and I think we're going to string that out at least another 6 or maybe 7. That's into some rare air for January. Not record, but rare to get that much dry time in a month that is typically quite wet. Here's the setup as we look at the forecast and futurecast again. Offshore breeze continues here tomorrow and into the weekend. I'll fast forward into Monday. You can see MLK Day looks dry. Our next weather system begins to inch a little bit closer on Wednesday and Thursday. This is the European model. Again, we're going out, what day is today? The 15th, so we're going out 6 days here. And even this is a maybe, because there's a dominant ridge of high pressure out over the North Pacific. So don't even hang your hat on the chance of rain on Wednesday next week. We'll have to wait and see on that. The point is that this is interesting and rare to have this much dry time in the middle of one of our rainy months. 52 and brilliantly sunny right now along the north coast. This is our latest, newest sky camera, sponsored by Seaside. Beautiful there, watching the breakers come in. We've seen surfers out in the water there the last couple of days. Should be nice to continue doing that. It's 52 right now in Vancouver. We had some clouds there this morning. Those have dissipated. The clouds over the state capital this morning are dissipating as well as we get into the afternoon. Not the case on the east side of the state. Not everybody is enjoying the sunshine. Unfortunately for you folks from Hood River, the upper Hood River Valley and points east, you're locked under low clouds here. And that will be the case, I think, for the next couple of days. Here's the visible satellite imagery, and you get a good feel for the topography here, the Pacific Northwest and the lower terrain of the Columbia Basin here, heading up into the Palouse and eastern Washington as well. So that's one area that's going to be socked in the next few days. That cloud cover to the southern Willamette Valley will erode, but the folks for the east side of the state, the air stagnation advisory continues there for a few more days, and Futurecast bears that out. Meanwhile, the Willamette Valley and the I-5 corridor, no fog tomorrow. It'll be sunny and gorgeous tomorrow. Same story at the beach through Saturday and into Sunday as well. So a really nice stretch of weather coming our way, albeit a bit windy. We've already had wind gusts of 52 miles an hour at Crown Point, 46 in Corbett, and Futurecast certainly shows those east winds continuing to blow for the rest of today and tomorrow, and probably even into Saturday as well. You'll see that reflected in our 7-day forecast. We will keep the sunshine though, and I'll get to that as soon as I can hit the button that takes me to the 7-day forecast. There we go. Sunny with east wind today, tomorrow, Saturday. The east breeze subsides a bit on Sunday, and as we mentioned, dry for days with the next chance of some rain maybe next Wednesday. Stephanie?
Okay, Chris, thank you. Well, still ahead, the 2011 Beast Quake is a key piece of Seattle Seahawks history. And now researchers are wondering if fans can recreate the rumble in Saturday's matchup against the 49ers.
KGW's Evening News. Important stories to help you stay informed and keep your family safe.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich.
And I'm David Molko.
Weather impact alerts to help you plan your week.
We need to be extra careful with anything that can throw a spark.
And a team of local journalists connected to our community. David Molko, Christine Pitawanich, and Matt Zaffino. Your Evening News team, tonight on KGW.
Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Well, check this out. A lifelong Seattle Seahawks fan built this massive display entirely out of soda boxes to support his team. The man is an employee of a grocery store in British Columbia. That's impressive. He says he's been planning to do this for nearly 8 years, and after a dramatic overtime win by Seattle over the Rams, he decided it was time. The installation used roughly 1,500 boxes. That's pretty cool. And the Seahawks fans are hoping for another win like that against the 49ers this Saturday at Lumen Field. Everyone knows how big this rivalry game will be, including scientists wondering if Seattle fans will cause another quake. The Pacific Northwest Seismic Network set up 6 seismometers on the concrete all around the stadium to see whether the 12s get the ground shaking. This is what the devices actually look like. The director of the Seismic Network says they'll have a team at the stadium monitoring this in real time.
The goal is really just to actually make a scientific measurement of how hard the place shakes when the 12s get going. And it's the same thing an earthquake does in many ways, but it's coming from just everybody jumping up and down and hooting and hollering in the stands.
You probably remember the famous Beast Quake in 2011 when Marshawn Lynch completed a 67-yard touchdown run against the Saints. Researchers say this will be a more accurate reading because that quake was picked up from a device near the stadium, but not inside the actual stadium. So we'll have to see. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Welcome back. Before we get to Chris's final weather here, today marks the start of the largest dog show series in the Northwest. We're talking about the Rose City Dog Show. Last year, Best in Show was taken home by an Afghan hound. Can't wait to see who takes the title this year. They're all winners, I think. It's going on today, by the way, through Sunday. Oh, look at the Pomeranian! At the Portland Expo Center. For tickets and more information, you can head to rosecityclassic.org. I guess we found our favorite.
Yeah, oh my God, it's so cute.
So cute, just flying there.
Gorgeous weather out there the next couple days, really. So it's not often that we get, I say not often. We had a January last year, we had a long run of dry weather, but typically January is pretty wet. We have a nice run of weather continuing here, sunny and increasingly breezy this afternoon with highs in the mid-50s. We'll keep the east wind going and the sunshine for the next few days. No significant chance of rain in the forecast until Wednesday, question mark?
If you have some winter yard work you need to do, now's the time.
Is the
Painting
time.
a deck or something
Still
like that.
have decorations to take down.
Me too. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here at 4.